Okay, so we're diving deep today into Hindi,
Yay.
one of the spoken languages in the world.
Such a great choice.
It is,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people are interested in learning more, but maybe they don't know where to start.
Makes sense.
So we found this great beginner podcast episode.
Okay.
It's called Hindi in 30 Days, Day Zero, Introduction and Basics.
Love that.
Yeah.
Very straightforward.
So it's really like a day zero,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like this is where you start,
Yep.
and this is what you should expect to learn.
I like it.
Yeah. So we're going to kind of take a deep dive with you into this particular episode and, just kind of break down some of the key insights
Awesome.
and get you familiar with the very basics of Hindi. We'll talk about pronunciation,
Yes.
nuances,
Yeah.
and then even Hindi sentence structure, because that's one thing that's
Oh, yeah. I was going to bring it up.
interesting
I
about
was going to bring it up.
Hindi
Yeah.
is that it's kind of the reverse of English
The reverse?
in some ways.
Absolutely.
We'll get into that. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really fun deep dive.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Let's go.
So one of the things I liked about this podcast episode is that they really lay out like a very clear path for learning Hindi.
Yes, they do.
And they kind of break it down like over 30 days.
30 days. Yeah.
So they're like, okay, you can learn the basics of Hindi in 30 days.
Yeah.
And they kind of give you daily lessons, conversational practice, pronunciation tips.
Yeah. They have a lot of cultural insights too.
Yeah.
Which I think is super important.
It is. And they really kind of just guide you along.
Uh-huh.
And they don't throw you right
Right into the deep end.
into the deep end, yeah.
Yeah.
With the Devanagari script, which is,
Can be intimidating.
it is. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be intimidating.
Yeah.
But they start you out with Romanized Hindi.
Smart move.
Yeah. Smart move.
So that's really cool. So if you don't know how to read the script,
Absolutely.
you can still get started.
Yeah, it's a very approachable way to begin.
Yeah.
Focus on the sounds
Yes.
at the beginning and then move on.
Yeah. And speaking of the sounds, they kind of highlight a few sounds in this podcast episode that are really unique to Hindi.
Yes.
Like susk.
Yeah.
And
Right. They even
Somebody-
walk you through how to pronounce them,
They do.
like the mechanics of it.
Yeah. And I think it's important to point that out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I know sometimes even when you're reading something Romanized, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, how do I say this? How do I pronounce this?
yeah. So, and maybe we can give it a try
Sure.
because
They might seem like subtle differences, but they make
Yeah.
a world of difference.
totally,
And the meaning can change completely if you're not careful.
it's true.
So,
I'm just going to say it out loud. Woo! I mean, it's almost like
What?
a subtle difference, but
but it's so important.
yeah.
It's kind of like a retroflex. It sounds so,
The tip of your tongue curls back
oh, interesting.
a little bit more
I see.
towards the roof of your mouth.
Okay.
And then it's the same thing, but with a day sound.
Okay.
So it's a retroflex day.
So it's all about like where your tongue is placed.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
So mastering these sounds is like
Yeah.
unlocking.
Unlocking a secret code
Yeah.
to understanding Hindi.
Totally.
Because if you can pronounce those sounds correctly,
Yeah.
then you're going to be able to understand a lot more of what you're hearing.
And be understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they also, in this podcast, introduce a few really important Hindi words.
They do.
One of them is Namaste,
Namaste.
which you've probably heard before.
It's a classic.
It is.
So much more than just hello, though.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are like,
Yeah.
oh, Namaste means hello.
Yeah.
But it's
It's deeper than that.
deeper.
It's a way of showing respect
Oh.
and acknowledging the divine in each person.
Wow.
It's a beautiful reflection of Indian culture.
Yeah, it makes you think about how language and culture are so intertwined.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what other words did they kind of introduce in the episode?
So we've got Namaste, and then they also introduce Shukriya or Dhanyavaad,
Okay.
which means thank you.
Yeah.
And then we have Haan,
Haan.
which means yes.
Yes.
Nahi, which means no.
No.
And then they also introduce Kaise,
Kaise,
which means how are you?
how are you?
So with these 5 words,
5 words.
you can already start having
Basic conversation.
very basic conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It is, yeah.
And they even give you a little dialogue in the
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
to practice.
They're like putting it into practice right away.
I know, which is great.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay.
So person A says, Namaste,
Yeah.
Kaise ho.
Okay.
And then person B replies, Mendi kon shukriya.
Wow, so you're already speaking Hindi.
You are.
Yeah. And one of the things I found really interesting about this episode
Yeah.
was this whole concept of like reversed sentence structure in Hindi.
Yes.
Like the verb comes at the
That's
end,
the end, yeah.
which is
It's a total mind shift.
totally different from English.
Yes. Very different.
Yeah. And the podcast gives this really interesting example.
Oh, yeah.
They say that I eat an apple
Right.
translates to main seb kata hun in Hindi.
Which is literally, I apple eat.
I apple eat.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's subject object verb
Exactly.
instead of subject verb object.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It is. And like I was thinking about that, like as I was listening, I was like,
Yeah.
could this change like how Hindi speakers think about actions and their relationship to the subject?
No, it's so interesting to think about.
I know.
Linguists have been exploring this for years.
Really?
There's a theory called linguistic relativity,
Heck
which
yeah.
suggests that the language we speak can influence how we perceive the world. So it's a complex topic,
Yeah.
but it's something to ponder as you delve deeper into Hindi.
It really is food for thought.
Absolutely.
Like, you think you're just learning a language, but
Yeah, you're learning a whole new way of thinking.
you're learning
Yeah.
so much more.
It's amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, this podcast, they do a great job of kind of just giving you like a
Like a little
taste
taste.
of the depth of the
Little
language.
appetizer.
Yeah. And they encourage you to, keep practicing these words,
Absolutely keep practicing.
these phrases.
Yeah.
Try them out on someone you know.
Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Wow.
Even if you just learn these 5 words,
Yeah.
that's 5 more words than you knew yesterday.
Exactly.
It's progress.
It's progress.
Yeah.
So for all of you listening out there, you've now kind of gotten like this crash course on some Hindi basics.
Yeah.
Essential greetings, how pronunciation can make all the difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah. And even a little peek into how sentence structure might shape thought.
Right. It's fascinating.
It is. And so as you continue your Hindi language adventure,
Yes.
we want to leave you with this thought.
Oh, I like this.
If language can shape how we see the world,
Yeah.
how might learning Hindi shift your own perspective?
Ooh, that's a good one to
Right.
think about.
That's something to think about.
I love it.
Awesome.
Great episode.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Bye.